Hello and welcome everyone. So we are at a point now that we can have a look at how the control is actually flowing from one layer to another layer, and then a view is being rendered on the browser. So when we open the link localhost 8080/index.html, this is what actually happens. So from our web XML, a dispatcher servlet which is configured as front controller, this tries to find out the mapping for star.html file. So in our case, we have the URL pattern defined as star.html, and we are trying to open index.html. So it is trying to find where the /html pattern is. So it will scan all the controller classes, and it will try to find where the mapping /index is present. So it happens to be in the index controller, and /index is right here, and it catches it, and it tries to execute this particular method for us. So this is the index method. The method name is irrelevant. We can call it anything. This particular request mapping is what matters. So once we call this index /index.html, it comes to this particular method, and it tries to execute these particular methods in turn, add them to the model object, and then returns the view back as index view back to the tiles. And then tiles also gets a handle of these particular objects that are attached to it. So we'll talk about this particular section in the next video. In this video, I wanted to focus more on the controller aspect of it. So we see that request mapping annotation is what causes a particular method inside a controller to catch a particular request mapping. In our case, /index.html is turned into /index from the dispatcher servlet, and the controller catches it and tries to execute this method. In this method, it does some business logic. In our case, it is getting three particular attributes, which is teacher count, student count, and course count. It is getting it from these service methods, and it is getting these values, assigning it to these three variables, and sending it to index page. Now, what is our index page? So index page, it is getting from general index over here. So this is how it knows that it has to go to /webinf/jsp index.jsp. And how does it come to this particular general XML file? This is through tiles configurer that we defined in our dispatcher servlet. So in our dispatcher servlet, we had tiles configurer defined, and in tiles configurer we had definitions as general.xml. So it is coming to general, and in general XML we are saying that, hey, index is actually this JSP. This particular definition, index is this definition, and in this definition we are having index.jsp passed as one of the body attributes that gets attached into the classic.jsp file. Common, and then in common we have classic.jsp that has body attribute in it. Okay, so let's open index.jsp. So in index.jsp we are having one of the bootstrap classes, list group. This is coming from the bootstrap, so it makes the view look a little nicer. So let me quick open it and I can show you. So this list kind of thing that you see, this is not a table, this is a list, and this is coming from the bootstrap list view, list group. And then these are the list group items, and I'm just printing the counts based on the variables that were passed into the model object. So in our case, in the model object, we are passing t count, s count, and c count, and we are retrieving these values, and we are printing them over here as t count, s count, and c count. And then we are having another Spring URL being shown also, which ties us to the teachers page if you want to see more details. So that is it. That's how the application is catching a particular URL, and it is going to a controller and rendering the view. In the next video, I'll be talking about how service layer is pulling the data from DAO layer, and it is handing the data back to the controller. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you into the next video.